He wants you to be his girlfriend? That is so sweet. Or is it? Today I want to talk to you about why I think that boyfriend and girlfriend relationship titles are the reason why people struggle so hard to stay committed long-term in relationships. Hi, my name is Yancy. Welcome to my channel, Chasing Yancy. Each week I provide you with emotional well-being tips and advice on relationships. If you would like content like that and you haven't done so already, I invite you to subscribe. And if you could take a moment to give this video a like, it lets YouTube know that this is the type of content that people want to see. If you just can't wait for more content outside of Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, you can find me everywhere on social media as Chasing Yancy. Now, before I get into this video, I want to invite you to stick around to the very end because I have a free gift for you. Well, I guess gifts are free, huh? It's a little redundant. Anyway, just stick around. All right, so before we get into what I have an issue with, let's talk about what is currently happening. So this is our current dating system. Boy meets girl, boy and girl feels chemistry, boy gives girl a title. When you first meet somebody, you feel this chemistry, you can't get enough of each other, you communicate all the time, you give each other lots and lots of affection and even more attention. You're probably communicating more than you ever will in the future. You are on an emotional high and chances are you're having sex. Tons and tons of sex. And then it happens. One day you guys have the talk and he lets you know that he wants to bestow upon you the title of girlfriend. And then you know what happens next? Absolutely nothing. Now, let me explain, because you're probably thinking, no, I'm his girlfriend now. No, she's my girlfriend now. Everything's changed. We're committed now. We're in a relationship. I hate to break it to you, but you were already in a relationship. Now, this video is only for people who are dating with intention. It does not apply to people who are out here just living their best life, having a hot girl summer, or what have you. If you are intentionally dating, chances are, if you have honed in on somebody that you really, really like, you're not hanging out with anyone else. So whether you've said it or not, or discussed it or not, you guys are exclusively getting to know each other. And guess what happens after you get a title? You exclusively get to know each other more. Nothing has happened any differently. Nothing has changed. It's all psychological. And there are two reasons for this psychological change. The very first one comes out of fear, and if you've been watching my content for a while, you know I tell you to run in the other direction when you feel yourself motivated by fear. The fear makes you become territorial, and it's to say, I don't want anyone else to have this person. The other side of it is a pride thing. It's an ego boost. I want everyone to know that he picked me. I want everyone to know that she's my girl. But to what end? It's just to make yourself feel better. Like I mentioned, you don't have anything tangibly different from the title. It's only feelings. It's boosting your ego and falsely quelching your fear. Most people feel safer with the title, but I'm here to let you know it is a false sense of security because there's no commitment. The title ensures absolutely nothing from your partner. You might be thinking that I'm wrong, so let me put it this way. What keeps you guys from breaking up? I'll wait. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's until one of you decides you don't want to be with each other. That's it. You break up. Literally. He can call you, I don't want to be with you anymore. The next day, he could be with someone else. And he's not cheating because there was no commitment. There was just a title. Now the title got stripped away. And bye-bye boyfriend, bye-bye girlfriend. You kind of see where I'm going with this? I want you to think, what is the purpose of the title? What benefit does it bring? How does it serve you? Now, what should we be doing while dating? I love how somebody put it, dating is simply collecting data. If we look at dating as collecting data, it really helps us to take the emotion out of it a little bit. We don't look back on relationships as failures, but simply learning experiences. Collecting data helps us know how to proceed. The problem is when we skip the first step, jump to the second, a lot of other problems will ensue. But let me not get ahead of myself. During the getting to know the person process, you should be trying to get as much information as possible. And I don't want to make this sound clinical, like you shouldn't be having fun. You definitely should be having fun. But I strongly, strongly caution against becoming intimate physically too soon. If it were up to me, I would say don't be intimate at all until marriage, but that's for another conversation. If you're interested in hearing my argument for abstinence, you can watch my 2-part video called The Truth About Sex. You've been bamboozled. Sex just complicates things and takes things to a whole nother level, and just watch the video, you'll understand. But getting to my point, we should be taking this time to thoroughly get to know the person. There's a book, and by the way, I don't get paid a dime for promoting this book. It's just amazing and I really like it. It's called Don't You Dare Get Married Until You Read This. It's the book of questions for couples, more than 500 points to ponder before you live happily ever after, from love to sex to in-laws, exes, and dirty laundry. It's by Donaldson, and I highly, highly recommend it. This book will force you to ask questions that you might not have otherwise thought of. It has sections about sex, romance, love, religion, spirituality, your self-worth, how you see yourself, expectations from your partner, expectations from life. It helps you dive into the past. It encourages you to talk about trust, what that looks like, what you need from your partner as far as trust. It talks about the future, things that maybe you hadn't even thought about yourself, and one of my favorite sections, annoyances. It also goes over communication, money, and other things that you just, like I said, might not have thought to ask. It also can be an innocent way to get the information that you've wanted to ask but kind of feel weird bringing it up. In the past with partners, as I was getting to know them, I've gone through the book and made little marks on what questions that we asked so that we could jump around, and it became a little fun thing. You could do it with a little meal, you could have some wine, just make it a whole fun getting to know you process. Trust me, it's better to know ahead of time than before it's too late, and your feelings are super, super deep. Especially women, we catch all the feelings, and we catch them pretty quickly. So this will help you to make a decision with your mind and less with your heart and your emotions. It's crazy to me how I will hear about somebody who's possibly wanting to get married and just realizing their partner doesn't want to have kids, or God forbid, they've already tied the knot. You should know how they handle finances. You should know how they handle disappointment. What type of person are they when they get angry? Are they the type of person who emotionally manipulates you? Are they the person that calls you names when they're upset or withholds things from you? Are they close to their family? Do they want to be close to their family? Do they want to live where they're currently living for a long time? Do they want pets? Do they not want pets? Do they even know how to swim? What's their idea of a dream vacation? What kind of a sexual appetite do they have? Do you like their family? Because please believe you are marrying the family as well. What about gender roles? Do they believe in traditional gender roles? How do they like to spend their weekends? And then what are their pet peeves? There are so many things, and yes, you have a lifetime to get to know the person, but I truly believe that the more information, the more intel you can get before you make a decision to commit long-term, the longer and more beneficial the relationship is. Case in point, there's some really fun questions about sex in there, and one of them is, how does the person like to be in bed? Do they like to be really quiet with their partner, or do they like to talk it up? Imagine if you're like 6 months into your marriage and you find out that the person hates sexy talk, and you've been a person who's just saying all this stuff thinking you're sexy. I'd rather know a lot of things up front and avoid certain pitfalls than find out after the fact and have that awkward conversation like, yeah, babe, that doesn't really do anything for me. Matter of fact, it kind of turns me off. Now, the reason why I specified boyfriend-girlfriend relationship titles is because I don't think titles themselves are terrible. The title that I think matters the most is that of fiancé. Once you've taken the time to thoroughly get to know the person and really see their character, that's the time that you can decide if you want to be connected with this person for the rest
of your life.
Till death do us part is a very, very long time. So you should be very, very sure about this person. You shouldn't do more research about a car that you're looking to buy, or a house you want to purchase, or stock that you're going to invest in. This is the rest of your life and probably someone that you are going to make children with. You want to do your due diligence. Now, as opposed to the boyfriend-girlfriend title, a fiance title actually means something. It means that we are now working towards marriage. And during that engagement time, that's the time the couple has to get all the legal things in order. You have to apply for a marriage license. If you're going to do a wedding ceremony, you plan the wedding. But everything that you're doing now is just moving you closer to married life. Are you going to sell one person's house? Are you going to keep them both? Are you going to rent one out? Maybe you're renting and now you guys want to buy. So many things to consider, but this is what's actually happening during the phase. As opposed to the girlfriend-boyfriend title, it's just that. It's just a title. Nothing changes. The reason why I think this is such a big deal, to the point that I made an entire video on it, is because we have conditioned ourselves to get into commitments, okay? They're little mini commitments, and then the minute we stop enjoying the other person's company, we run. Mini commitment, run. Mini commitment, run. Or mini commitment, break the commitment. Mini commitment, break the commitment. And why do you think it's so difficult when people get married? They've created a pattern of making a commitment and then walking away. We either need to learn how to stay committed or stop making commitments prematurely. So let's really break it down. Here's the issue. People are rushing into the commitment without even really getting to know the person. They don't have self-control. They're almost totally controlled by lust, which makes them rush into sex. And like I said, it really, really complicates things. It has a lot of people acting a certain way because they're just trying to get to the end goal. It leads to a lot of heartache because women especially feel like they're bamboozled if they think they're getting a committed relationship and really he just wants to knock boots. Yes, I went to 1990 and borrowed that term. You're creating this pattern of throwing someone away like the trash the minute you don't like them anymore. And a lot of times the reason they don't like the person anymore is because they just hit a snag. They had a little bit of conflict and they think it's time to get out the hefty bags and throw the trash away. There are so many people who have abandonment issues specifically, so many unhealed people, that the minute their partner expresses any dissatisfaction, what they hear is, I don't want you anymore, and therefore they get out of Dodge before they can get thrown away. The reality is the person was just communicating with them, but that healed person through all of their trauma couldn't hear that. And so they're going to make sure that they get rid of any chance of getting hurt. The other reason why people run is because their egos are out of control. Their pride is so great that they can't take the thought of anybody giving them constructive criticism. Now, with the exception of a person who's abusive emotionally or manipulative, if you don't know what those signs are, you can check out this video, signs to look out for an emotionally abusive relationship. But aside from that, relationships are supposed to be a way to level up. You can grow so much faster when you're with somebody than when you're on your own. Partners should be like knives, and they say iron sharpens iron. The other reason why people throw their partners away like trash is because they don't know how to speak each other's love language. This is another great book, The 5 Love Languages, and this is by Chapman. Again, I don't get a dime for promoting it, but it is an excellent book, and I'm actually going to be doing a love languages video series a little bit further down the line. It's so important for people to actually feel love. A lot of times partners love the other person, but the other person can't feel it because they're speaking in a language they can't understand. Just like if you're an English speaker and I tell you je t'aime or te amo, you don't understand that because you don't speak French or Spanish. It doesn't mean that I'm not expressing my love to you. It just means you don't feel it because it doesn't translate to you as I love you. Another good book, His Needs, Her Needs, and this is by Willard F. Harley Jr. It's Building an Affair-Proof Marriage, and they explore the differences between what men need and women typically need in relationships. I strongly suggest that people level up. Watch videos like the ones on my channel. There are plenty of other people who give excellent relationship advice that just talk about the art of communication. Shoot, you can read books like How to Win Friends and Influence People. They are very practical tips that apply to people and relationships as a whole. Also, 48 Laws of Power. If you really want to get emotionally intelligent, that's another great one. But the point is that a lot of times people are just not emotionally intelligent. And so they don't know how to function when they hit a snag in the relationship. They assume that because they have chemistry, they're going to have compatibility. And they think that if they hit a snag, that means they don't have compatibility. No, a lot of this stuff, though it does come naturally, a lot of it are things that you have to learn about your partner. You have to talk things through. And that is why healthy communication skills are important. A lot of times the issues themselves are not difficult. We make it difficult because we don't know how to communicate effectively. We say things that set the other person off. We offend them. We don't know how to navigate in a way that leaves the person feeling respected. And the last thing, there are a lot of people who are in relationships for entirely the wrong reason. My last video, Why Dating Sucks, explores why people have such an issue in relationships, and it's because they're in it for the wrong reason. A lot of times people are not healed inside, and they think that the solution to that hole in their spirit is a relationship. They have unrealistic expectations for another human being, and no matter how many people they date, no matter how long of a relationship they're in, they will never feel satisfied. I don't want to go into too much detail because you can just watch that video, but that's one of the big reasons why relationships are such an issue. People are getting in relationships because they're bored. Some people feel lost. Some people want self-validation. These are all wrong reasons to be in relationships. And I say all this to say, this is why they end so quickly, even though they have the precious title of girlfriend and boyfriend. So my challenge to you is to think about why that title is so important. Is it because you need your ego stroked? Is it because you're fearful that somebody else might get them? If you feel like that person can be taken from you, were they ever really yours at all? Love is a decision. And to make that decision, you have to know what you're signing up for. I challenge you to ask people, maybe pick 5 of your friends who you know recently had a breakup, and ask them why they broke up. Chances are they found out information, they saw a side of their partner that they didn't know was there. I wonder how long it was before they made that commitment and gave them that sacred title of boyfriend or girlfriend. I bet you they were not hanging out for a considerable amount of time, because if they had, they would have seen the red flags. And if they ignored the red flags, it's probably because they're in a relationship for the wrong reason, like I mentioned before. My heart's desire for our generation is that we can have the best relationships that we have seen yet. If you think about our grandparents' generation, a lot of times people have debates online saying, people stayed together for so long back then, and then other people would say, yeah, that's because people were getting abused and cheated on. They didn't have any options, especially the women. Well, our parents' generation, they had more options because they had more resources, but a lot of them did not have the emotional intelligence to know how to make the relationship last because they're out there just getting the bag. Our generation, what I think our generation struggles with is emotional intelligence as well. We're in touch with our feelings a lot. We have access to plenty of resources, but we don't know how to practice self-discipline and self-control. We go too much off of our emotions, and we're so free, thanks to all the propaganda that started in the 60s, that we're just out here wilding out. So many hot girl, hot boy summers, and we don't realize that we are committing to people we have no business committing to. And as mentioned at the beginning of this video, we are teaching ourselves this pattern. I'm gonna be committed until I'm not. I'm gonna be committed until I'm not. And then we don't know how to move past problems when we actually tie the knot. I want our relationships to not only survive, but thrive. I don't want to see couples who have been married for 10 years and look like they are beaten down, barely an ounce of life left in them. I want to see partners who are in love. And I want to challenge you with this. I want to see partners who are in love. And for all those people who say, you know what, sex isn't a big deal. I just want to be out here having fun and, having as much of it as I can. Do you really think that given the option of having a lifelong committed partner, you would just pick an occasional wham bam, thank you ma'am? Men, can you imagine having a woman who you know has your back, is willing to give you children, is your safe place, a soft spot for you to land. You can call her up after a long, hard day and she can just reassure you and remind you of the king that you are. Can you imagine coming home to a wonderful, warm, inviting space? You can lay in her lap, she can rub your head, you guys can talk about the future, you can come together like partners. Doesn't that sound like a better dream than just going out every night and finding a new piece of tail? I don't know about you, but that's what my heart desires. I want someone I can share my hopes and dreams with, someone that I can build trust with so that I can be completely transparent, somebody who will help me grow and see the parts of myself that I didn't see, good and bad. I want partnership. I want love. I want the real deal. And I think it starts by learning self-discipline, learning how to control ourselves, learning how to walk away from fear, learning how to deflate our ego, and just being patient enough to get to know ourselves and then getting to know others. It is only at that time you can truly make a commitment before God and your fellow man. If you struggle with self-discipline and you want to learn more how to get in control of your life, I strongly recommend you take advantage of my free webinar that is coming up on Thursday, February 18th. I'm going to be walking people through the process and teaching them how to disconnect from the matrix that we call life. There's a link in my bio. You can click that and sign up. Make sure you've got your spot reserved. It's free, but you need to be registered so that you can receive the link. Now, I'm always curious to see who made it to the end of the video, so we'll have a little bit of fun like we did last time. Comment below your favorite way to enjoy an egg. Maybe it's scrambled, maybe it's fried, boiled, poached, omelet even. I don't know, but I always think it's funny to think about the people seeing the comments who didn't watch all the way through going, what the heck are these people talking about eggs for? So let me know your favorite way to enjoy an egg. Mine is probably fried, maybe tied with omelet. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to let YouTube know this is the content we want you to push out to more people. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified every time a new video drops, hit the notification bell. This is really crucial for Sundays because I go live and we have so much fun. People enjoy it so much more when they watch it live and they can have their questions answered while we are right there on air. And before I go, a quick reminder, I have a Sunshine Club. It is an online community where we get together and we encourage each other to follow our goals. I have weekly video check-ins with them and we go over everybody's individual goals. And then daily we have our challenges for physical challenges as well as our challenges to renew our mind. So it's really good stuff. It's been awesome seeing the progress so far and I welcome you to join that community if you're interested. There is a link in the description here as well as a link in my IG bio. And finally, a huge shout out to my patrons. They are the faithful subscribers who are part of my Patreon page. If you would like to show some support for my channel, that would be amazing. You can find me at patreon.com/Yancy. Now, I'm gonna leave you on the next screen with a couple videos that I think you might enjoy. They are two of the ones that I've referenced in this video. One is Why Dating Sucks, and the other is 7 Signs of Emotional Abuse. Hope you enjoy it. And guys, until next time, tell someone that you love them. Have a great day.